Probably maybe one of the most valuable episodes I've ever done. And this is going to be how to book rooms on the fly, on the run, around the world. And it is going to be complicated. It might turn into a series. It possibly could turn into a series of videos. So if you haven't traveled around the world, you probably think, oh, I'll just book a hotel or whatever. That's basically not going to happen. You need to learn. And this video is going to teach you, like, if you traveled before, like I did, around the world using like books and things like that, those days are long gone. You need to know how to book rooms. And especially if you're doing it like the way that you're probably going to want to do it, which is flexible. So you can, you go to one place, it sucks, and then you leave, right? You don't book a room, 6 months in advance. Then you get there and there's a typhoon, there's a rain every day, right? You want to be able to say, okay, that place sucks. This place rocks. This part of town is awesome. This part of town has no food. And you can just boop, 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 move around. And you can be exactly where you want to be every single day. And also, we want to do our best to help you not to get ripped off. Okay, so that's another serious issue. So we'll go into it. We got a couple guys here that have been booking rooms with us. And we're going to talk about practical stuff. So let's get into it. Where's Ed? Why don't you come over here and let's start talking about. In fact, why don't you just sit right here, and then let's just start talking about the trials and tribulations real quick. Like, it's been challenging, right? You were very good at booking rooms before, and I knew it. That's why I'm like, okay, we need Ed to help, right? I'm like, for sure, right? What have we learned on this trip? What's new? The site we're looking at now is Jalen.
Yeah, it's
JALAN.net.
So I got someone told me about this website, and they told me this is what the Japanese use to book.
Right.
So you get a lot of capsule hotels, business hotels, APAs listed on there as well. But I feel like you get more traditional style hotel rooms with this one, so you could get better deals.
Right. This is the Japan specific one, and we're gonna use Airbnb and other ones as examples. And also, we're going to talk about how one of them is a major fucking ripoff.
Yeah.
And will not protect you. And how to avoid that one. And which one you need to avoid.
Yeah, so this one, it's Jalan.net, JALAN.net.
Actually, let's start with Airbnb, because I think Airbnb is better because this is so Japan specific, right?
Well, this one lets you save money on Japan compared to Airbnb.
Absolutely.
So, when you need to. I mean, you can still find deals in Airbnb, but the cheat code with Airbnb is when you team up,
right,
with 2 or more people. That's when you could get the better deals and start dividing it. Because when you start with just one person, I mean, the cost is so high.
You get fucked.
Yeah, you get screwed over. So that's why I recommend Jalan.net if you're traveling solo.
Right. Oh, I see. So Jalan.net for traveling solo in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good information.
And
I'll say this is one thing we learned is that we have a large group, right? So we couldn't be in one place. So we ended up with basically 2 large groups in 2 different places. And what was awesome about that is some places have better security and some places have more lax security. So the guys could kind of flow back and forth. We had 4 booked in this room, but instead we had 7, right? And then we had, so we got 7 guys into a 4-man room. So the price is insanely cheap, right? And it was great, and we didn't have any hassles at all, right? So we kind of did that the whole time. We moved people from room to room. So if you're just on your own, then you're going to have different strategies than we're talking about in this video, because we're talking about right now is a group of guys. So if you travel with a group, but I think there's insane value in traveling in a group. Yeah. If you can find a group of guys to travel with, because
that you trust and that are not barbarians,
right?
That are respectful, clean up after themselves, stuff like that. Because otherwise, you'll get the attention of whoever's in charge of the Airbnb.
Right. Especially everyone's got to learn how to play by the rules. And when you travel to Japan, there's a lot of dumb rules, and so you think as a Westerner, oh, these rules are lame. But the thing is, when you're booking rooms, you have to care. You have to pay attention. Garbage has to be either separated or you have to take it out, and there's no place to throw it. So you really need to be not only good little boys as far as following the rules, but also too, like coming in like some places they're like, it's easier to come in at night with more guys. It's easier to, you know what I mean? Like you got to follow those rules. You can't, if the guy books the room, he comes in, he tells you, okay, here's how this place is. Each place has a different personality, right? And then he tells the guys, and they don't listen. Like he says, don't come in now. Don't come in now. The landlord's here right now. And he's really strict. Like that's what happened in Ohama Beach in Shimoda, right? And then we said, don't come now, because the guy was there. And then I was worried he was going to be super anal, but he wasn't. He just was anal that first moment. And he was kind of lurking around the house, and he kept coming in, and we're like, shit, this guy lives next door or something, right? Or he's got another house. And then all it was is he just wanted to get everything right, everyone to fill out their passport number and everything. And then he was like, I don't want to deal with these foreigners, and he left. And he never came back. He didn't even come in when we checked out, right? But like you guys listened, and that makes all the difference. So you need to listen, and also too, you got to all pay. So for example, one guy is going to pay for the room, and it might be as much for 4 nights. How much we pay?
It'd be like $750.
$750, right? So you can't have people saying, "Oh, I didn't want that place," or "Oh, I'm going somewhere else," or like, "Oh, you guys didn't listen to me." You know, you got to pay.
And everything's a compromise. Like, you kind of have to go with the flow, with what's available. Like, you're not gonna get a Western style hotel in Japan all the time,
right?
You know, and
right.
you're gonna sleep on the floor sometimes. You got to suck it up. That's the way they do things here.
Yeah, and the thing is, the floor is nice once you get used to it. Once you get used to the way the Japanese use the floor, with their Japanese stones, the mattresses that go on the ground, is very comfortable. So you have to learn the culture quickly when you're booking rooms, especially in a group, right? But I appreciate how everybody paid the bills. One group got fucked over one night for $1,600. They booked a room. How many nights was that for?
Dang, maybe 4 nights. Maybe
it was 4 nights for a group of guys.
No, it was 8 nights. It was 8 nights.
Oh, 8 nights.
8 nights in Shibuya.
Okay, in Shibuya.
And that was done through Agoda.com.
Yeah, fuck Agoda.
Yeah.
Do not use Agoda. Agoda will not protect you, especially if you're using a Wise card, which is highly recommended. Wise app, which is basically somewhat of a debit card in its function. So if you get ripped off, they don't refund the money.
Yeah, it's better to have a
from
credit
your bank
card.
account, right?
Yeah, if you use a credit card, there's more protection.
Yeah.
If you use a credit card, but Agoda, for some reason, the reviews there, like the owners of the places, they don't have as much vested interest like Airbnb, because Airbnb, a host wants good reviews. They want good business, and for some reason,
same
Agoda,
as Uber,
they don't give a fuck.
Oh, really?
So it seemed like it compared to some of the reviews I was reading there.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so I don't trust Agoda anymore.
Right. So you want to use a credit card if you can. Don't use a debit card if you can. Right. You're gonna have nights where, like, if everybody's paying one night, you might end up using a debit one night. So I'm not saying don't use it, but
this is where the reviews are very helpful. Like,
beware.
Read the reviews, read all the fine print. Like in Agoda, one of our guys got it, but he didn't read that on the very bottom of all the print. It said everybody has to be over the age of 33.
Okay, so here's another thing. So
they'll put little dumb curveballs in there to rip you off.
Scam guys will put things into the terms and conditions, and parts of the terms and conditions that you would never read. So you really need somebody who's pretty disciplined, which goes to my basic rule was when we first started, I knew that Ed was good at booking rooms and had proven himself to me because the place he found for me in Shinjuku, right? So I was like, okay, this guy knows how to book rooms. And I know this because my friend Adam is very good at booking rooms. And I never, ever think that I'm good at booking rooms because I'm not, right? Because I haven't done it. But hopefully this video is going to teach me also a lot too. But so I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you have a friend, if one of you guys is very good at booking rooms, you probably want to use him every night because the learning curve is brutal. It's so brutal, right? And you think, oh, I'll just do it one night and it won't be a big deal. And then you get burned $1,600, right? So I think that, we used you, and then basically Joe went through the learning curve, right? And so, and he learned, right? And he took the heat, when there was like a little mistake. So you took the heat, I could tell you didn't like it, but you took the heat, and that's good because it's important to have somebody. You did not just one person, right? At least you got like a mentor, and then you got a fucking someone learning, right? So at least we have two guys that can book rooms, solid in our group, and then they can help. Even if they left, they would like help probably a little bit, say, hey, don't do that or don't book that. I'll just say too is you need your streetwiseness too. It's easy. It's always easy, and I don't want to do this too much, but that room that you guys got, that the other group got ripped off on, right? The picture was a pretty girl, and it was in Shibuya. That right there. I wasn't with you guys. We had our group separate, right? And you guys sent me that, and someone said, "Oh, they got a hot landlord." Immediately, I said, "I don't trust it." That was my first reaction. I was like, "I don't trust it."
Honeypot.
I just didn't think like they're gonna have a hot landlord in Japan. Like, it doesn't happen. I've never had a hot landlord ever. I've never seen a hot landlord. Never heard of a hot landlord, and especially a hot landlord in Shibuya. To me, it's kind of like all these things are coming together because Shibuya is where all the girls are. It's like where all the young guys want to go. And that's why they were running that scam of over 33 because everybody's under 33. And then they got the hot landlord too. So the young guys are like, fuck yeah.
Thinking with their dick.
Yeah, they're thinking this girl's going to be fucking great. We can bone her too, And then that's just like a fucking recipe for disaster. So anyway, I'll let you guys take it away. So let's do this. Why don't we do this? We can go through Jalan. And Jalan is basically like Japan specific. And this is extremely valuable, you guys. Because Japan is the best place in the fucking world. So anyway, to travel. So it's really valuable to know a specific cheap place that's good for being a single traveler in Japan. So this is valuable. So we can either do this now, do a quick one, and then then we'll go on to Airbnb because we got the Airbnb app downloaded onto the Mac right now. So we're Airbnb. You can't just use it on your phone. You can use it on your computer.
So today's the 15th, right? So we'll start at the 15th. How many days did you want?
We don't even know where we're going to go yet. Let's see, where do we want to go? Let's talk about that real quick.
Well, just the dates to put in for the demo. I'll put it through Sunday.
Today's the 15th?
Yeah, I'll put it for 5 days. And I'll put...
That's a long time.
So, well, just for the record,
yeah,
just for the sake of the video, I just want to say here, if you're flying solo or you're kind of bumping around whatever country,
you got to talk loud and you got to talk in there.
Okay.
Don't mumble.
If you don't know where you're going to stay for quite a long time, you just want to kind of explore around a bit. You probably want to think about staying in each place for at least 3 days, because just experience has shown me that staying for 2 days or 1 day in one hotel or Airbnb kind of sucks, because you just arrived. Basically, what the way that you want to think about it is, every time you move hotels, you're going to waste a whole day moving all your shit to the next hotel. So it becomes a real hassle, especially if you keep doing it. You can waste a lot of time. Like if your traveling period is short, if you're only in the country for a couple of weeks or something, you might want to book for at least 3 days in one place.
You might get sick or whatever too. That's why it's nice to be in one place. The other thing too, I will say though, is the fact that we moved around a lot
is good.
Which was a pain in the ass, which I didn't like, but it turned out to be good because we stayed in a defunct ramen bar, which was so cool. It was like a Hawaiian tiki fucking place, right? The wooden thing and the fucking funky downstairs with the bamboo. What is that straw roof thing sticking out? Like, it was so cool. It was perfect to like have a party in there. It was like such a great place. And we rented like a beach house right on the beach. We rented like downtown, right near the supermarket, which was super convenient. We rented. What other kind of cool places did we get?
We got like a traditional Japanese house out in the countryside. A whole house all to ourselves with tatamis and everything.
Yeah, tatami mats and the smell of the wood and like the floors, like just like people would want.
The full Japanese bathroom with a bathtub and a little thing and I don't know what you call it, the shower head.
Yeah,
What else do we get?
We stayed in a Japanese minshiku, which is like a ryokan, which has a naturally hot spring bath. Now, it was not the best one, and it was not the best experience.
Yeah.
And the reason is because it was in the middle of a huge celebration, fireworks thing, and the town was booked to the max, and we got the very last place. It was so crowded, we had to go to the next town, and it was up a mountain.
Yeah.
But still, even then, it was okay.
Yeah.
We had a fucking great time, like we did, and we stayed in a traditional minchku, which was totally cool.
And I stayed with a nice Japanese grandma in one of the rooms of her house, and then I had this big bag that I was dragging around with me that I really wanted to get rid of, but it had some valuable stuff in there. So I just asked her, "Can I just keep my stuff in your house?" And she said, "Sure." So now I don't have to worry about that bag this whole month that I'm in Japan.
Wow. Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Let's look at places right now.
Okay, so Jalen,
and this is real, you guys. We need a room right now. We're getting ready to fucking leave this house. We got what time is it?
We got 1 hour to get out of here.
Yeah, we got one hour to leave this place. So I'm gonna get ready while you guys are doing this.
All right. So right now, again, this is just to show real quick what Jalen is, and again, read the fine print because some hotels check-in is at 4 p.m., 3 p.m., and some hotels are at 1. So late check-ins, I mean, they kind of suck. They could they kills a couple of hours in your daytime, especially if you have a lot of luggage. You don't want to be dragging it around. The lockers near the stations help, but always read the fine print. You want to read everything because it can mess up your plans.
The one thing I want to mention with these websites, this goes for probably this one and Agoda or whatever, but what I found is that people automatically default to this list, and what they're going to do is they're going to show you the most expensive ones first because they make the most commission off of it. But what I've found to be really useful is almost every website like this will have these maps, and then you can just click on this. I hope this works on this website. I actually don't know, but basically you can see every single one, and you can see how expensive they are. So you can sort and filter based on how much you're willing to spend and all that, and you can see all the different ones. So that it makes it really easy to find a hotel near where you want to be. That's also has the amenities you want and the price you want. Because otherwise you're going to be looking through this list all day, trying to figure out what the fuck you want to go to, but you don't know anything about the area or anything like that. So it's really nice because you can look at the map. You can see how close it is to the train station, which is really important. You can see what's nearby. You can see what kind of area it is, if there's, this kind of stuff, or is it a forest, or what is it? So that's very useful for me. Anyway, I'm trying to get back to the list there.
And it's low to high. So the first one's always going to be expensive for some reason. But let's see, there's capsule hotels, which if you're feeling adventurous, I'm not a fan of capsule hotels because they don't always have a safe place to put all your stuff. Yes. But here, I'm going to show you some of my favorite ones are located in a more sleepy part of town. For example, you have a hotel like this one, Hotel Hikari, which is a more of a business style place to stay. So when it's a business style hotel, I'm going to click on it so you guys can kind of see what the pictures are like. It's very bare bones. You get just a room small enough for you to sleep, with just a futon on the tatami. It'll usually have a TV and a fridge. But most of them have access to a traditional style Japanese bath alongside with private showers, which is really cool. And this particular hotel right here, they give you towels and other toiletries. Not all hotels give you towels. So if you're not trying to lug a bunch of stuff around, that might be important to you to find a hotel that has access to towels. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but not having to worry about a towel and having to dry it, it makes a big difference sometimes when you stay in different places. Here's an example of a capsule hotel, just so they can see what you would be getting into. And if you're feeling adventurous and you're feeling pretty light, a lot of these capsule hotels have access to traditional style saunas. So the trade-off with capsule hotel is you may not get a bed, a private room, but you'll have access to a sauna. and stuff like that. But I think we should move on to Airbnb so we can book what we need.
Okay.
But I hope this is enough information for those of you that want to pursue Jalan.net. I mean, it's a slight learning curve, but there's a lot of good deals to be found here.
There's another website too that I want to add. It's that's more international, called booking.com. So this site itself is like Jalan.net, but on a, like an internet scale. Shit, that gotta get edited out right there. But yeah, so here's booking.com. It's almost like Jalan.net, but on a more international level. You might not get the same deals.
Just click that off.
See, and let's say if we want to get a place in Shinjuku. From, I guess, today to, just say from today's the 15th, and we want like 3 days. So just like Jalan.net, it's going to show you like different hotels. You can also filter it too, but I want to add that sometimes you might get a better deal using their application on your phone than booking through the website itself. Like sometimes I get there's this one hotel that I got like 3,000 yen off for about 3 nights staying in I think it was Minami Senju, if I remember. But that's like a sleepier part of town. I'm guessing more travelers that are coming to Japan, they want to like be closer to the action, so to speak. So here in Shinjuku, here's by the action, and let's say we want like a very cheap place, about, let's see, what's a good deal?
I don't know, 3,000?
Yeah.
4,000?
Per night, right?
Yeah, per night. Let's go to like 3,000 to 8,000.
Yeah. It is Shinjuku.
And currently at like the yen price too, it's like, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, because the closer you get, as an individual, it gets pretty expensive to stay near Shinjuku or Shibuya.
Right. But
Yeah,
even
never
then, if you're
nice.
staying by a major station, if you get a place that's like one smaller station away, you're getting a better deal. And it's not like far of a distance. Most stations around here are like close together, like what, half a mile walk, a mile walk.
Yeah.
And it's not bad because here in Tokyo, like the whole city is just walkable. So you don't have to worry about like hopping on a train or getting lost for like 5 hours per day, because it public transportation here is like really convenient. Like, and I'm saying this as someone that's coming from LA, where like, yes, there's cars everywhere and there's roads everywhere, but the public transportation system just sucks fucking ass. Like, you can't hop into a train and go from like, let's say the Valley to Venice in like a very simple manner. You have to like take like 4 different fucking buses and also like a subway.
A huge advantage to that. There's a huge advantage that you don't even think about. You think, oh, public transportation is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the real life thing. Here's what really changes. So last night we were in Shibuya, and I showed the guys some area where I thought there'd be girls to talk to. We went up in this like record store, and the guys were talking to girls, and so I saw that, and I wanted to go home. I didn't even say goodbye. I just left. And everybody can just leave and come and leave and come. And no one needs to say, hey guys, we're going now. Let's meet at this place. It's all so easy. You can eat where you want. You can go where you want. You can leave when you want. You can join back when you want. and you can come back to the house when you want. There's nobody has to hold your hand. Nobody has to be with you. You can take guys with you. Hey, who wants to go to fucking, this other cool place? Okay, let's go. But at the same time, everybody's totally like, someone just suddenly gets a call, doesn't feel good, and they leave. Whereas in America, with a car, with a van, you don't even think about it, but you're trapped all the time in America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to imagine the freedom. Like, the guys, like, they have trouble when they're new here. They just kind of wait for people to gather, and you never have to do that.
Yeah, they wait for the taxi. That's a crucial thing about traveling in Asia is like you really, really want to be on the train. Because if you're on the train, basically all of the distance is shortened into nothing. You might be 10 more minutes away by train, but you're just sitting on the train anyway. So it doesn't really matter where your hotel is as long as you're on the train, because you can always get into the places where you want to go very easily.
And get dropped off in the middle of the madness too.
Yeah, what you don't want to be doing is paying for taxis every day. Because if you leave the hotel and you have to pay a taxi just to get to the train station, then you're going to be paying for a taxi on the way from the train station to your hotel. And that's going to add probably double the cost of your hotel. So,
Well, it's even worse than that. You can't get a taxi
yeah,
from any random place.
if you can get one.
You can only get a taxi from the station
Yeah.
to where you're going. Coming back, there ain't no fucking taxis. The Japanese call, and then you have to pay double because they charge from the minute they leave. So choosing your room is really important.
The location can save you a lot.
Yeah, and of course, you're not going to know everything to start. You're going to make a mistake here and there. It's all good, but just keep this in mind. Don't get overwhelmed. It's going to work out. You're going to have a fucking great trip.
Yeah.
Just don't try to save money on the hotel by getting something that's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, and then,
Right.
yeah,
Even a
useless.
10-minute walk can be different. There was 2 Appa hotels, and one in near Nishi Shinjuku, and one near I forgot the others where it was near the park. And the park one was a beautiful road, food everywhere, 2-minute walk to the most beautiful park ever. The other one is like a 10, 15-minute walk in the blazing heat, and not even a very nice walk. The same brand hotel, same station, right? Within a 25-minute walk of each other, and they were very different. So that's why you don't want to book 5 nights, because
you want to be able to like move around if a place sucks ass.
you can just I mean, everything's going to be, you're going to have a great time, but you're just getting it like, it's like the arrow, like it's like hitting a bullseye. Every shot, like Japanese archery, you're standing there, you're getting closer, you're letting it go, you're getting closer and closer to where you want to be.
So I guess, and the one thing about the cabs, if it's like a group of 4 people, that's the only time it makes sense to get a taxi. It's because then the prices will be reasonable. You could split it up into four ways, maybe 3 ways, but as a single person, just getting a cab, only do it when you have to.
Right. But otherwise, stick to
Trains.
being by a train station.
Yes.
It's definitely the best bet.
If you're in Bangkok, the motorcycle taxis are okay if you want to play with death.
Oh yeah, I love bike taxis
Yeah,
in Bangkok.
but they might not give you a helmet, so
Yeah,
be aware.
That's cool. Okay.
I got to say something. They're not so great. I'm not a fan of motorcycle taxis. I've been going to Thailand since in the 80s. Here's why. They have a very specific area they work in. And most taxis are the same way. You think they're going to drive you anywhere. Like, they'll be excited about going to the airport. No, they fucking won't. They have a neighborhood. They have an area. They're very, they tend to be small-minded guys in small neighborhoods. So you say to the motorcycle guy, hey, take me to Khao San Road. He's going to rip you off, but there's 2 reasons. One is because he thinks you can't, but more importantly, he doesn't want to go there. Like, he really doesn't want to go there.
Yeah, it's not his money maker.
Yeah,
He's got his little scene. He goes up and down
bike
this one
taxis.
road.
Bike taxis are just for short distances.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 kilometers. That's it. Zip up and down. To
And
save
not
you
only
time.
that, it's usually even one soy. It's like one little road that leads to a big road. He goes up and down that road. He picks people on one end. He goes the other end.
Yeah,
and you come in like Mr. Take me to some random place. The guy does not fucking want to go.
They're going to be pissed off too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, before you get in the taxi, you have to ask can you go to this location?
Yeah.
And they'll flat out be like, no. And it's like, okay, don't go into the taxi.
That's right. Don't even try to
don't-
bargain the price because never
Because
try
they don't know.
never try to overcome the bias of the driver.
No, but that's why they have
You want to
Grab.
find the bias of the driver out, and then choose the driver based on what they want to do.
No, but the
It's
apps,
based on their reaction.
Yeah.
they have an app called Grab in Thailand.
Yeah.
And it's super cheap. So if you got to get a taxi in Thailand, use Grab. Because right there, the
100%.
the price is already set.
The guys agreed to it.
Yeah.
He saw the road. He decided to say yes.
Yeah.
He clicked on it. He won't give you any hassle.
And bike taxis, again, just for short distances.
Okay, let's move to Airbnb.
Yeah, okay, so here we are at Airbnb. Let's we're gonna put the dates.
Getting, like, rushed right now.
Yeah.
So
So
just something about Airbnb. So right now we've got 7 guys. We're going around with 7 guys. So what I've been doing is I haven't been looking for an Airbnb that hosts up to 7 people, because that filters you out of like 50% of the properties. But if you look for something for 4 people, then you can look at more stuff. And if you can find one that'll theoretically take 4, but you guys know that you can put more than that in there, then you can do it, as long as the owner of the property doesn't find out about it.
how many are we putting here today right now?
4.
4, okay.
Because even if we got lots of guys,
Yeah.
I find 4 is a reasonable number. That you
Right.
get some pretty big properties that you could actually host a few guys in illegally.
We had 7 guys in this place. It was 4. Now, when we leave, it's possible the landlord will say, "Oh, you you guys had 7, charge us more," but probably not. And also, too, let's only have 4 guys at the checkout time. Let's have like bank, anybody who's not involved, like in the video, just fucking pack your shit, go outside,
I like the list view initially because it gives you an idea. Like it'll have the total price, right? But if you click on the little link right here that says the total, it'll tell you how much it's charging you. So for example, here it's charging us 14,167 yen for 3 nights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about what, $120 maybe.
Yeah, and you also have to look out for the cleaning fees too, because cleaning fees change based on the places. Like the place that we got in Ohama, the cleaning fee was about like $100.
Wow.
Yeah, so it definitely changes by the place. So that's something to be aware of. Like you might think it's like, oh, I'm getting a good deal by looking at the night, and then once you actually click on it, then you can actually see like what you're getting it for.
Well, this will be like 163 plus 6,500 yen for cleaning fee, but then you divided that by 4 per person. That's pretty reasonable. This is let me see, apartment in Shinjuku. Let's check it out.
Nice.
It has a rooftop terrace.
Looks sick, actually. That's pretty cheap too. 14,000 a night. But how many people can fit in there?
Let's
That's
see,
the
there's
question.
1, 2.
Like we'd have
It
to
said
kinda,
6.
We'd have to kind of squeeze into the same beds.
Which
Right,
part of Shinjuku?
And remember, guys, like you could always move the furniture around in your place to make more room.
And also, if you have a yoga mats, like I have 2 yoga mats,
That's the best.
that's enough to sleep on the floor. I bought a sleeping bag at Daiso, Daiso. It's a kind of a 100 yen store, but they also have bigger Daisos. And I looked online. There was a Daiso. They had 1,000 yen, $7 sleeping bag. I went and bought it. It's fucking amazing. I use it every night. It's like that sleeping bag on the 2 yoga mats is enough. Now I got like an ear infection. I'm not like feeling my best, so I've been sleeping on a bed. But generally, I sleep on that, even with 1 mat. But I got 2 mats because Lewis gave me another mat, so now I got fucking total luxury, right?
Yeah.
Sleeping bag, And then if you have a sleeping bag, like I bought a $10 sleeping bag. The reason is, it's not because I'm cheap. I've had $1,000, $2,000 sleeping bags before. But the reason is because then I can chuck it. So I don't care.
You could
Like
travel
in the
light.
summer, I sweat a lot, and it's gonna be some nights can be really hot. We haven't had a hot night yet, but some mornings when I slept on the beach, I was like woke up and I just doused the fucking sleeping bag, and so I want to be able to chuck it and get another one because it's not even worth cleaning them at $7. Just get a new one, right? Go back to Daiso, get a fucking $7 bag. That kind of thing gives you a lot of flexibility and freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like let go of your fucking ideas on this thing.
Like being
Yeah.
able to pack light in general, like fuck carrying like 4 different bags. It's like you don't need that shit, especially if you're traveling around and having to move place to place. You're not going to want to carry like 4 oversized luggages by hand.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Try to get 1 bag.
We got one guy who's
bag.
got a lot of bags, and he brought like a tent and stuff, and that was because we had talked about camping, and so he's dying. But it's all a great lesson for everybody,
Right.
because we were going to camp. We didn't know, right?
Mhm.
There was a lot in the air, so it was actually a reasonable move of his.
Mhm.
And who knows, maybe we'll end up using it one night.
Right.
They'll save our ass. You know?
Like anything could happen. That's
Yeah.
the point of this whole trip. It's like anything could fucking happen. So we don't know. We just had to like think on the fly. And so at this one, like the lesson in this video is like how to find places like on the fly.
Without making commitment. 'Cause
Right.
you don't want to make commitments. So that's the whole thing about unblackmailable, is that you don't know what's going to be good when you go to Japan. Like, do you know where the girl's going to be standing? Do you know where the music's going to be good? Do you know where the weather's going to? You have no fucking idea. But your whole life you've been making commitments to things you don't know. It's much better to be, you get here and you'll realize that some places rock and other places do not rock, right?
Right.
And you want to say, fuck, I'm not going to stay in the shitty place.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang out over there with the cool kids, you know?
Right.
I'm
right.
having a fucking good trip, right?
This one says that if it's up to 7 people, sorry. But look, it has 2 beds, but it has a proper area to set up a sleeping bag.
Tommy area, yeah.
Where is it?
That shit looks like it sleeps 4
That
It looks
sick.
real
on
nice.
the floor.
Yeah, where is it?
This is in
Looks great. How much is it?
It's clean.
it's 7 minutes on foot to
Oh,
Nishi
fuck.
Shinjuku.
Let's get it.
It's near Shinjuku
Let's
Central
grab
Park.
it right now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's grab it.
Wow, let me
We can even close the video and then do a second follow-up later.
Just
If
double
you have
check.
to put in your personal information.
Double check the location.
This is a lot of good information so far, even.
Oh, that's pretty
There's a
good.
station right there,
Yeah.
and then there's a couple parks around.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
How far from the station really is it? Let's see.
It said 7 minutes, but check it out. Here's the.
Yeah.
It's in between 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
And also remember, guys, to when you're looking at a map, like there's going to be different colors. Greens are parks for sure, but in Japan, like the little pink or purple spots, those are shopping districts.
Oh,
So
look, here's-
shopping districts are areas that have a bunch of fucking shops that you go to, like if you want food, if you want like clothes. It's like where the locals go to get their stuff around the area.
So it's 100 yen per night. So
So-
let's see.
So if it's 12,000 yen a night, you can think, you know, like if you can divide that by 7 guys, that's really fucking.
That's
cheap.
$103 a
Are
night.
you in there?
Really
Oh,
cheap.
okay.
And divide that by 7.
The place we're staying now is 30,000
So let's see.
a night.
So let's see what the total will be. It will be 3,800 plus 9 plus 7. Let's see.
Anyone seen my electric toothbrush? Did anybody accidentally might have hacked it up?
No.
Toothbrush? What color?
It's a Sonic Care.
Oh. I saw that over there. Here, like, oh, that's the back.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess this is the one.
I guess so.
It'll be about 6,700 yen per person.
For those 3 nights. That's great. That's a fucking good deal.
Is it too cheap? Is it too good to be true? Let's see what the reviews say.
Yeah, always double check the reviews. Always.
It says
And there has to be at least 10 reviews or so.
this one only has a super friendly host, great instant communication. Thinks place was nice and not too far from Metro. Responded quickly. Here's a few things to mention. It's small, and for 6 people, it was too crowded. 4 would be the max.
That's for them.
Uh,
They're like some boomer.
it
That's
says
for those pussies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some Westerner.
It's yeah. Dude, we probably get 8 guys in there.
there's a dryer and washer, but you can only dry for 30 minutes. That's all right. I don't have a dressing room.
Oh, then here's another good one. If you're traveling in a group, here's the best advice I ever got. I was on a tour with a guy who was famous, and I was kind of like somewhat of a roadie for him, right? And I was driving, bodyguard for him, and he told me, he said, all the rock stars, all the rock bands, they always bring, all the roadies have earplugs, and there's a $15 eye mask from Walgreens that's very good. And the earplugs and the eye mask, or the earbuds for music, are so valuable because you can have 6 guys in a room, 4 of them are sleeping soundly on the floor with their mats, yoga mats, sleeping bag, earplugs, and eye mask, and you will save thousands of dollars on a trip. And you'll sleep better too. You will fucking sleep good because you get your little cubby hole against the wall on the floor. You put your mats there. You lean so that your head is, in the darkest place, the shadowy side, and then you sleep there. Great sleep. Right? And that's what happened our whole trip. I'd be in the room, the other guys would be drinking and fucking playing music, and I was sleeping. in the same room. And we had 4 guys in a 2-man room. And every night we saved money. And it was like, it gets to be a game. You realize, you don't have to get ripped off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we took good care of the room. Every time we leave, it looks fucking great. We didn't break anything, They didn't lose anything. They made money. We fucking styled out. We were on a 3.5-month trip. We saved a fuck ton of money, right?
So you're booking that one then? You gonna book?
Let's book. Let's book that. Should we turn off the recording, or does that show your
Yeah,
information?
let's turn it off.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you very much. We'll do a part 2, so let's get this. We'll do a part 2, so go ahead and tell me what we missed. And this is extremely valuable information, actually. So we will also have a very serious, think about it, about what we missed and what needs to be here, right? What is really important for traveling. Certain, must-do fucking Ronin tips, It's like there's certain things that we've been doing. We'll try to put them together for the next one. So we'll do this as part of a series. I don't know when the next one's coming up, but as soon as it's ready, right, we'll do it. Let's see. I think this is it.